what's the next big thing? And we made a video about the metaverse, which you can find here. And this is a question we usually get quite often when it comes to technology. So let's explore this question. If you don't know me yet, my name is Christoph Magnussen. I run this channel and you should subscribe because it's all about technology and how you can use technology for communication and creative stuff, especially within companies, which we do all day long. But here I share my personal opinion. When I'm on vacation, I usually take the time off and the only thing I take with me is this. And I try not to look in the phone all the time. But then I have a thought and start to Google something and read something, and I stumbled upon a blog post from a guy called Benedict Evans. If you don't know him yet, you should check him out. His website is ben-evans.com. And he gave a presentation in Davos in 2020, beginning of 2020, about the question of like what's coming next. And he made a quite interesting thought experiment here. He said like, is it the next new frontier technology like quantum computing, battery chemistry and so on? Is it important but narrow stuff like drones, IoT, Industry 4.0? Is it like a structural layer that we know, like cloud computing and so on? Or is it something totally new, like a new platform, like for example the metaverse or AR platform, whatever. And then he made a point at the end of the article which struck me because I like to think like that, and I'll tell you in a minute why. He said there are like 4 billion smartphones on the planet and we are roughly 5.76 billion something adults on the planet. So almost everyone has a smartphone. The interesting thing is though that in the car industry, if you compare it, or let's take it one step back, the question is what happens if everyone has a supercomputer in his pocket or her pocket? What happens? Like what is really happening? And we kind of only just find it out. And he then took the comparison to the car industry where people say like in the first 50 years of the car industry, we figured out like what a car company is, how a car should look like. And in the second 50 years, we kind of found out what you can do with a car. Driving to McDonald's, driving to Walmart, driving to the suburbs, and so on. And I really love this thought experiment because we had a couple of years ago already in the keynotes that we gave always the challenge for people, do a smartphone only week. Who would accept the challenge? Smartphone for 1 week? Smartphone for 1 week. Challenge accepted? Okay, challenge accepted. Why? For 2 reasons. Number one is you should be able to do everything with your phone already 5 years ago, and especially today. So we always gave this challenge, like what if you work just 1 week with your phone, and you will find out like which of the apps. So we always gave this challenge of like work 1 week with your smartphone only for 2 reasons. Number one is you kind of find out like which of the apps that you work with are already really mobile phone capable, especially because you want to kind of find out how do you need to put information on a display in a different way. How do you make it work that people use it like on the go? You need to make messages shorter. You cannot write these long emails. You cannot use small font and all the little details. In a company context, you could ask like, how should a presentation look like? Do you really like need PowerPoint, for example, or do you use documents or just written text or whatever? So you would kind of change your behavior with this tool. And the second reason is that you definitely also recognize to use it as a tool instead of letting the tool dictate. For example, the week that I worked with the phone, which I do quite often because this is my main work device, I don't have notifications on. Like here. I don't have a sound on the phone because we look on the phone screen all the time already. So why do I need a notification? Because I check it all the time anyways. And you kind of turn it around and you are not used by the tool, but you use it as a tool. And I would hit the same into the, wie sagt man das, in dieselbe Kerbe. So I would agree with Ben here in asking this question, what if you focus on not the metaverse and the next thing, which is interesting. Everything is interesting. But if we really deep dive into like, what if this thing is really the number one device. And it is already the remote control for life and all that stuff. And I thought, like, for a vacation, I can leave it at home. I just need I do phone calls all the time, so I just need my old phone and that's it. Which has a battery that lasts like for 1 week. Remember these old Snake Nokia phones. But I can't. There is the Corona, the Corona vaccination pass on here. There is the boarding pass on. I have my bank on here and all that stuff. I can't leave it at home. So what if we just change perspective and let the metaverse be metaverse and all the other trends be the trends, but ask really in every detail, what if we build everything around this device? How will the next 50 years look like? How will the next 10 years look like if we do it like that? So the next challenge after the smartphone only week is the smartphone only month. Can I work 1 month with a smartphone only? And this is a tough question because I'm currently still writing a book, making videos and like having a lot of video calls. So I would challenge it. I think I can do it, but it's harder than before Corona because you kind of need screens to interact. But still, I would say it's possible.
So is this a video idea now, or what do you think?
I gave the challenge to myself right now, huh? I think we gotta test it. But the Mini, the battery of the Mini doesn't last. It's the Mini 12. I'm waiting for the Mini 13. Anyhow, this is the thought experiment. So what if we focus on here and build everything around it and then like build up from there and find out in depth what it means for work? Like how do we, for example, change a project where people currently like sit on a computer and make a document with tables, which is very hard to read on a mobile phone, or a slideshow, which is hard to read on a device like this, which you usually don't turn because you look at it upright. Small things, small questions, but interesting questions. If you don't want to go with the metaverse and all that stuff. So make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you think and what your take is, and if you can go 1 month with a smartphone only. And let me know if I should do that and then make a video about it, because maybe nobody cares. Who knows?